Africa's weekly news in review. I'm Constance Ebanks. NCFC leaders reset at coalition retreat. Members of the National Coalition of Caymanians administration recently spent several days at a caucus retreat, sharing ideas and setting priorities. Premier Andre Ebanks described the gathering as being driven by a real sense of purpose and teamwork. The coalition government, which took office less than 9 months ago, is navigating a number of significant challenges, including the rising cost of living and a rapid growing population that continues to place pressure on public services. At the same time, expectations are mounting within parts of the community that upcoming changes to the immigration laws expected to roll out in the coming weeks and months will help address some of the country's social issues. However, many businesses have raised concerns that the reforms could make it more difficult to recruit and retain staff. Despite these pressures, the NCFC, formed following the April elections, has yet to announce clear policy solutions to the ongoing concerns such as the housing crisis, unchecked development, traffic congestion, and shortcomings in public transportation. The government has also not implemented actions outlined in the National Energy Policy or Climate Change Policy, nor introduced substantial solutions to long-standing landfill and waste management issues. Additional challenges on the horizon include pressure from the United Kingdom regarding access to the beneficial ownership register, as well as potential supply chain disruptions from the United States amid uncertainty under the Trump administration. Premier Ebanks said discussions during the retreat were practical and forward-looking, grounded in a shared commitment to delivering meaningful outcomes to the Cayman Islands. When we take the time to work together with a shared focus on delivering high-impact results, we put ourselves in a stronger position to deliver for our people, Ebanks said in a social media post, adding that the NCFC intends to keep the promises it has made. PAC urges Health Ministry to abandon backlog audits and start fresh. Members of the Public Accounts Committee have urged senior officials in the Ministry of Health to focus on completing their current audit rather than continuing to address a decades-long backlog of outdated annual accounts. During the first PAC meeting of the year on Thursday, the committee examined an Office of the Auditor General report published in October, which reviewed the state of government accounts across ministries and public authorities. The report identified the Health Ministry as one of the worst performers in financial reporting. PAC members encouraged the ministry to follow the Auditor General's advice to issue disclaimers on the old accounts and move forward with current reporting. However, senior officials offered limited explanation as to how the ministry's finances had fallen in such disarray. Acting Chief Officer Bobette Ogaro pointed to staffing shortages, while Chief Financial Officer Troy Claxton said information had been submitted on time and suggested the backlog stemmed from delays at the OAG. Smith rejected the assertion, saying the standard of submissions had consistently been inadequate. Smith warned that continuing to audit outdated accounts would only compound the problem and distort future reporting. He assured PAC that even if disclaimers were issued, compliance audits would still be conducted to identify any irregularities. Despite concerns raised by Claxton about reputational damage to financial staff, PAC members pressed the ministry to pursue the disclaimer option, advising officials to consult with their ministry and move forward. Blue Belt Research Expedition explores Cayman's deep seas. Scientists from the Department of Environment are taking part in the Beyond the Reef Research Expedition as part of the UK government-funded Blue Belt program. The 6-week mission is being carried out aboard the UK state-of-the-art Royal Research ship James Cook. The expedition aims to improve understanding of the Caribbean's deep marine environment, including habitats, fish stocks, deep-sea coral reefs, and the presence of pollutants and nutrients. Findings will help guide conservation efforts and support the goal of protecting 30% of Cayman waters by 2030. DOE Blue Belt Program Officer Kelly Forsyth is sharing updates from the voyage through her Dear Cayman ship's log, available on the DOE website and social media platforms. The vessel departed the Dominican Republic on 13th of January and is traveling through the Caribbean with stops in Anguilla and the Turks and Caicos Islands. When it arrives in Georgetown's harbor, a full team of DOE scientists will join the ship to spend 2 weeks exploring Cayman's deep waters. The expedition concludes on February the 25th, with the public invited to a free port call party that evening at 5:30 to 8 p.m. at the Village Cafe in Governor's Village, where the team will share stories from the journey. All government high schools rated good by inspectors. All government-run high schools in the Cayman Islands have been rated good by independent inspectors, meaning the public education system is now outperforming several fee-charging private high schools. According to the Office of Education Standards, all 5 government high schools, including the Lighthouse School, received good ratings. In the private sector, St. Ignatius and Cayman International School were rated excellent, while several other private schools were graded good. However, a number of faith-based private schools received only satisfactory ratings. While challenges remain in some overcrowded government primary schools, inspectors found that standards at the high school level continue to improve, with stronger teaching and solid academic outcomes for students. Government officials recently marked the good ratings at Clifton Hunter High School and the Cayman Islands Further Education Center. Education Minister Ralston Anglin praised students and staff, saying the results reflect ongoing efforts to provide a strong educational foundation for young people. Meanwhile, the Lighthouse School is celebrating its 50th anniversary this year. The special education facility will host a series of events throughout 2026 to mark the milestone, highlighting its long-standing commitment to inclusion, innovation, and student-centered learning. Principal Denise Williams said the anniversary is a reminder of what can be achieved when a community works together to support learning and high expectations. Scholarship opportunity offers pathway into policing career. Caymanian students interested in a career in policing are being encouraged to apply for a government-funded scholarship in partnership with the Royal Cayman Islands Police Service. The program offers the opportunity to study for a professional policing degree at the University of Portsmouth in England, with a direct pathway into the RCIPS upon graduation. The degree is aligned with modern policing standards and provides academic training alongside practical engagement with the RCIPS. Assistant Commissioner Rob Atking described the program as a world-class opportunity that includes mentorship and support throughout the 3-year course. Successful graduates will be eligible to join the RCIPS as full-time police officers at the completion of their studies. Applications must meet course and scholarship requirements, and the deadline to apply is the 31st of January 2026. Applicants must be Caymanian or have the right to be Caymanian, reside in the Cayman Islands, meet academic and English language requirements, and be of good character. Government prepares for possible increase in Cuban migrants. The Cayman Islands government says it is preparing for the possibility of an increase in Cuban migrants as economic pressures continue to mount in the region. Deputy Governor Franz Manderson told the Public Accounts Committee last week that contingency planning is underway as part of a broader risk management efforts across the civil service. Manderson said illegal migration has become one of the most pressing concerns, with teams in the Ministry of Home Affairs assessing how Cayman would respond if large numbers of people were to arrive in a short period of time. Drawing on his experience during the 1994 migration crisis, he stressed the importance of being prepared. Governor Jane Owen also confirmed that Cayman Security Services are developing contingency plans, noting that the situation is being monitored closely. A committee focused on mass migration is expected to meet the discussion response options. Police Commissioner Kirk Walton said the Coast Guard and Customs and Border Control are working together and sharing intelligence with regional partners to stay ahead of any potential developments. While Cuban migration to the Cayman Islands has fluctuated in recent years, officials say preparations are focused on ensuring the country is ready to respond quickly and responsibly should the need arise. Cayman's captive insurance sector continues strong growth. The Cayman Islands captive insurance sector recorded sustained growth in 2025, according to the latest statistics from the Cayman Islands Monetary Authority, CIMA. Last year saw 42 new international insurer licenses issued for the second consecutive year, including Class B, C, and D companies. Cayman is now home to 720 licensed companies, writing $51 billion in premiums and holding $176 billion in total assets, increases of 24% and 15% respectively compared to 2024. The Insurance Managers Association of Cayman said the figures reflect continued market confidence and forecast strong activity to carry into 2026. IMAC Chair James Trundle highlighted jurisdiction's robust regulatory framework, business-friendly environment, and professional expertise as key factors behind the growth. CIMA's data also showed increases across different license classes, including single-payer and captives Class B, and third-party writers Class B, as well as growth in fully collateralized Class C transactions and open market reinsurers Class D. Industry leaders expect this momentum to be a major focus at the upcoming CIRC Reconnect conference on the 16th to the 17th of April at the Ritz-Carlton Grand Cayman. Cayman's non-petroleum imports surge amid population growth. The Cayman Islands saw a more than 10% increase in non-petroleum imports in the first 9 months of 2025 compared to 2024, driven by both inflation and a growing population. According to the Economics and Statistics Office, machinery and transport equipment rose 13.5%, food imports were up 6.2%, and beverages and tobacco grew 7.9%. Chemicals and manufactured articles also saw notable increases. In contrast, petroleum imports fell 22.8% in the third quarter due to lower global oil prices, while certain metals and commodities, including non-monetary gold, saw small declines. The figures highlight Cayman's rising demand for goods as the population grows, while cheaper oil helps reduce fuel import costs. Deputy Governor signals greater accountability for delayed financial reports. Deputy Governor Franz Manderson has said that timely submission of audited government accounts to Parliament will soon be factored into the performance reviews of chief officers. He made the comments while appearing before the Public Accounts Committee on Friday. Manderson, who is retiring this summer, was praised by PAC members for his 2 decades of civil service leadership. However, he offered little explanation for the persistent poor quality of public accounts highlighted in the first report by Auditor General Patrick Smith. The report on 2024 accounts found numerous errors and delays. Of 36 financial statements ready by the statutory May deadline, only 10 had been tabled in Parliament by September. In addition, a backlog of 52 reports dating back to 2020 remained untabled, limiting public transparency about how taxpayer money is spent. Manderson attributed some delays to irregular parliamentary sittings, competing priorities for civil servants, and election year pressures. He stressed, however, that the ultimate responsibility for tabling reports lies with ministers, not his office. Looking ahead, he said chief officers would be held accountable for ensuring reports reach ministers on time, and delays could now affect performance-based pay. Manderson expressed confidence that with leadership and added accountability, improvements could be achieved, though questions about the quality of the accounts themselves were not addressed during this session. HSA CEO outlines financial and capacity challenges to PAC. HSA CEO outlines financial and capacity challenges to PAC. Health Services Authority CEO Lizette Yearwood told the Public Accounts Committee on Friday that rising demand and aging population and increasing healthcare costs are placing the HSA well beyond capacity. Yearwood explained that the HSA provides care to all residents, including those without insurance, and collaborates with the private sector where possible. Despite government outlays of nearly $27 million in 2024, the hospital ran a deficit of almost $12.4 million, in part due to unpaid bills and inadequate insurance coverage. She said fees for some services have remained unchanged since 2014, and the HSA is considering adjustments to better reflect actual costs. A costing review is underway to ensure each service breaks even. Yearwood also highlighted efficiency measures including timely billing, staffing adjustments, and the installation of solar panels to reduce operating expenses. Chief Financial Officer Sheila Thomas noted that around $7 million, or 10% of uncollected funds last year, was due to insurance payments exceeding the 90-day deadline. Yearwood told PAC that while the HSA continues to expand services to meet demand, financial and operational pressures remain significant challenges for the public healthcare system. Government moves to regulate e-bikes and micromobility devices. The National Road Safety Committee says it supports the upcoming crackdown on e-bikes, e-scooters, and other micromobility devices as the Royal Cayman Islands Police Service prepares to enforce insurance and registration requirements. Currently, only one company, Indigo, offers insurance for these devices, and some owners report quotes exceeding $1,000 with coverage for hoverboards largely unavailable. The infrastructure minister says more insurers will begin offering coverage in the coming months. Under Cayman law, micromobility devices are treated as motor vehicles. Riders must be at least 17, hold a valid driver's license, and ensure their device is roadworthy, insured, registered, and licensed. Insurance must be in place before registration or licensing, and unsafe devices cannot be used on public roads. The NRSC said the phased enforcement approach aims to educate the public and keep roads safe while also ensuring consistency in inspections and insurance standards. Officials urged riders to review the requirements on the Department of Vehicle and Driver's Licensing website. E-bike and scooter crackdown delayed until March. The Royal Cayman Islands Police Service has pushed back its planned enforcement of new licensing and insurance rules for e-bikes, e-scooters, and other personal electronic transportation until 1st of March. The Royal Cayman Islands Police Service has pushed back its planned enforcement of new licensing and insurance rules for e-bikes, e-scooters, and other personal electric transport until 1st of March, following public backlash over high insurance costs and limited coverage options. Police Commissioner Kirk Walton said the delay gives users and businesses extra time to get all documents in order, including license, insurance, and inspections. Once enforcement begins on the new date, there will be no excuses for non-compliance, he stressed. Under the Traffic Act, riders must be at least 17, hold a valid driver's license, and ensure their devices are inspected, registered, licensed, and insured. The 2023 law changes aimed at making micromobility safer have sparked debate online, with many commuters relying on e-bikes and scooters as a green and affordable way to navigate Grand Cayman's traffic. The RCIPS said the temporary reprieve balances public safety with practicality, but warned that enforcement will be strict once the new deadline arrives. Teacher returns to class after social media claims debunked. An assistant teacher at the Layman E. Scott Senior High School on Cayman Brac has been cleared to return to the classroom after a police investigation found no evidence of misconduct following allegations she posted inappropriate images online. The allegations were originally made on social media by local vlogger Kerry Rosita Whitaker, 57, who has now been charged with harassment and IT offenses for using an ICT network to annoy or threaten. The teacher, Jinkley Ann Walton, was suspended in September 2025 while authorities investigated. The RCIPS confirmed that their inquiries found no wrongdoing, and Walton has resumed her duties. Whitaker is scheduled to appear in summary court on the 29th of January. The Department of Education Services welcomed Walton's return, reaffirming its commitment to a safe and supportive learning environment. FIFA goes digital ahead of Under-17 World Cup qualifiers. The Cayman Islands Football Association has launched a brand new mobile app, giving fans live scores, stats, videos, and updates across all local leagues and national teams, believed to be the first in the Caribbean. FIFA President Alfredo Whitaker says it's a major step forward for players, clubs, and fans, creating one central hub for Cayman football. Meanwhile, Cayman's women's under-17 national team heads to Curacao for World Cup qualifying later this month. Fans can now follow all 4 matches, starting with Guatemala on January the 25th through the new app. Thank you so much for joining us for our weekly news in review. Stay tuned for Flashpoint Media's weather update. I'm Constance Ebanks.
Welcome to Flashpoint's weekly weather report. I am Janine Lewis. Let's talk weather. Today in the Cayman Islands, we continue with double C's, cool and comfortable, with low temperatures of 74 degrees Fahrenheit or 23 degrees Celsius. We've had some showers and we may experience a few more scattered showers, but it will remain partly cloudy. The weekend is looking great. From Friday through to Sunday, expect mostly sunny skies with temperatures near 83 degrees Fahrenheit or 28 degrees Celsius and a small chance of rain. Perfect to go outside nonetheless. Early next week, we will have a few afternoon showers, especially Monday and Wednesday, but nothing looks like a total washout. Temperatures stay nice and warm, mostly upper 70s to lower 80s, with a few breezy days mixed in between. This has been Janine Lewis with your weekly weather report.